$1 billion. That's exactly how much this copywriter has generated in his career. His name is Gary Halbert, by many considered the best copywriter to ever live. And today I'm here to break down one of his most famous pieces of copy, the dollar bill sales letter. So I say to not waste any time and let's get into it. Alright, now just for context, this sales letter was actually a letter. Like, the man sent out these letters physically. So these were physical letters. We're talking about 1990, okay? So what he did in this sales letter that makes it stand out and makes it so famous is he attached $1 bill on top of each sales letter he sent out. In this case, right? That's why it's called the dollar bill sales letter, because on top of the sales letter he attached a dollar, which in my opinion is probably the best hook ever done. You know, adding a $1 bill, I think it's pretty sick. But I say let's get started with the breaking down the actual copy. So now that we know there's a dollar bill in the top, let's get into it. So from dear friend, as you can see, I have attached a nice crisp dollar bill to the top of this letter. Why have I done this? Actually, there are two reasons. Number one, I have something very important to tell you, and I wanted to make sure this letter would catch your attention. And secondly, since I'm writing about concerns, since what I am writing about concerns ways you can make a lot of money, I thought using a dollar bill would be an eye catcher, was especially appropriate. Okay, so here we can already see, let's finish this part of the hook. Here's what it's all about. A few days ago, you answered my ad in the Wall Street Journal. I'm sure you remember the headline. The ad invited you to call for more info on the following. Let's start by analyzing this part. So as you can see, I have attached a nice crisp dollar bill to the top of this letter. Why have I done this? What is going on? All right. Why have I done this? That is probably what the reader is thinking right now. Why did you send me $1? Okay, and he says there's two reasons. Okay, first of all, I have something very important to tell you, and I wanted to make sure this letter would catch your attention. And secondly, here's where he really catches your attention, when he says about concerns, ways you can make a lot of money. This is where he really catches their attention, because what is that? Ways you can make a lot of money. That is their desire. He knows that the target audience is sending out this sales letter to, the people he's sending out this sales letter to, are interested, desire to make a lot of money. So here's already telling them what's in it for them. What's in it for them? Ways to make a lot of money. So that's why they're gonna keep reading. Okay, here's what it's all about. A few days ago, the ad then invited you to call for more info on the following. Okay, so basically, I guess this is a retargeting sales letter, retargeting people who answer to an ad. And this ad, how hot new reports from top ad experts reveal 6 amazing secrets. This ad, basically, people who replied to the ad were interested in these 6 things. How to get exact name and address of every man, woman and child who is ever likely to become one of your customers. How to mail up to 100,000 sales letters a week at no cost whatsoever, not even postage. How to get yourself or a product featured on cable TV without spending a penny. How to get as much money as you need to expand your business and get it without borrowing. How to get movie and TV stars to help you sell your product services and get them dirt cheap prices. How to cheap little classified ads generating a normally daily cash flow. Now notice this. Sure, these are features, right? This is what they called for. He could have put down in a very boring way. He could have said how to get exact name, address of every potential customers, how to mail up to 100,000 sales letter a week, how to get your product on cable TV. Like, they're just features. They don't give me any sort of emotions, and that's why, besides the fact that these are all things that he already knows that his prospect audience wants. So it's already very targeted, because they replied to an ad about this stuff. So he already knows they want it, but he doesn't just say it, but then he always added a part. Okay, so here, for example, how to get addresses of the interesting part in this line is that instead of saying every person, every man, woman, and child who is ever likely to become one of your customers. It is interesting. He could have said just a person, but this sounds much, much better. How to mail up to 100,000 sales letter a week. This is big, okay? The emotion here is big. 100,000 sales letter a week. Okay, that's big. And then here comes the rest at no cost. Okay, it could have just stopped at a week and it was already big. Now we added no cost, so cheap, not even postage. People are like, what? Something new, something never heard before. Okay, so he's adding emotions into it. How to get yourself or your product featured on cable TV. That is already something pretty big, I guess, at the time. But then without spending a penny. You know, it keeps adding these emotions on top of the basic feature. And that is why people are reading this. And that is why it was sort of interesting to even read this. Because it doesn't just state the fact, but it also adds emotion to it. So how to get as much money as you need to expand your business. This is a desire they have. And then here's the emotion, like the new part, the incredible part. And get it without boring. Okay? How to get movie and TV stars to help you sell your products and services. That is already something big, something that the avatar desires, and get them at dirt cheap prices. How to use cheap little classified ads to generate enormous daily cash flow. This is their desire, enormous daily cash flow. Okay, so you see how every single line refers to sort of the desires of this avatar, and how instead of him just explaining the features of his offer, he turned them into benefits. These all are benefits of that are going to go in this sales letter, okay? These are the all benefits of the sales letter and not the features. They're the same thing at the end of the day, but it's basically features plus desires and emotions, okay? That's what it is. Let's keep going. Okay, that's why I'm writing. So he's telling them that he's writing for all these benefits. I have assembled an information package that contains all of the above information plus 10 more incredible secrets that can help you hype the growth of your business almost beyond belief. As we said, these are all people who want to make money. So all the people who answer to this ad are people who want to make money. So he already knows, like, he has a very, very clear idea in mind of who is sending out this sales letter to. Okay, who is he sending out to? What do they want? What are they interested in? Okay, he has a very good idea of it also because these are all retargeted people. Okay, so contains all the above information and now he's making it even bigger plus 10 more incredible secrets. Like adding 10 secrets is pretty crazy, okay? Also on top of all of these, he's adding 10 more incredible secrets. Obviously, people will want to read it. Like I would want to keep reading here. He just told me all this amazing stuff and now that I want, and now he says 10 more incredible secrets and hype the growth of your business almost beyond belief. I'm not kidding. If you're interested in creating a huge and immediate, look at the emotions here. This is the emotion of fast. This is the emotion of big. If you don't know what I'm talking about emotions, read the book Take Their Money by Kyle Milligan or watch, I have a video, I'll leave it up here, about the emotions, okay? But creating a huge and immediate cash flow for yourself or your business, this is going to be the most exciting message you'll ever read. Here's why. My name is Gary Halbert, and some time ago I was dead broke. My business was almost bankrupt and I couldn't even pay the rent. Actually, I wasn't just broke, I was desperate. Then one day I came up with a crazy idea about how to write a certain kind of sales letter that would get people to send me money. I was living in Ohio at the time and my friends laughed at my idea. They thought it was a big joke, they said it was a dreamer and I had no common sense. In fact, one guy said I was a nerd and my idea was so silly he felt sorry for me. Okay, what is he doing here? He's going down to the level of the reader. Now here, if he said, oh yeah, my name is Gary Halbert, I'm a multi-billionaire marketer, you know, I send out the sales letter and they make me a whole bunch of money and I'm gonna get some money from you too. That's not relatable at all. They don't relate to that. But if he now says, oh, I started from where you are right now. This is me. I was that broke. He starts from the bottom where he's relatable to the target audience right now. And then he goes into what he is doing now, how much money he's doing now. But he needs to first of all go over the transformation. People love the transformation. going from where people are now to where they want to be. And a lot of times where they want to be coincides to where he is right now, the person who's sending out the sales letter or the person who's writing. Okay, so here, as we can see, he's doing it in a good storytelling. There's definitely good storytelling into this, but that's all he's doing. Transformation from where he was, which is most likely where the prospect is right now, or where worse than where he is right now. Because if it's worse than where they are right now, they think, oh, if Gary Halbert in that situation, that broke and desperate made it, now that I have this information and I'm not desperate, I can do it better. Okay, so it's important that the transformation part starts from a point where it's either as bad as where the reader is right now, or worse, not better. Okay, I was leaving it, so that's why he's making it a bit dramatic. Oh yeah, well, I didn't care. I still thought it was a good idea, and I typed a few of my letters and I started mailing them out. And guess what? People did start sending me money. And I used that money to mail more letters, which brought in more money. And I used to mail even more letters, which brought in even more money. I like how he repeats the same thing twice. I like that. And so on. What's the bottom line? Simply this. Before I was finished, that one simple letter pulled in more than 7,300,000 replies. What does that mean? Big, huge number. Emotion of big. People are like 7,300,000. We're talking about 1990 here, okay? Just hearing these numbers, thinking about that amount of sales, of letters, of replies, is crazy, okay? Think about it. More than 7 million people wrote back to me, and every one of those people sent a check made out to my wife. I don't understand what that means. Or else cash I could put in my pocket. And what I was selling, actually, it doesn't matter. You see, the magic was not in the product, it was in the letter. Okay? So why is he saying that? What was I selling? Because people now, their objection is, yeah, but your product was good. Yeah, but you had something to sell. Oh, well, but at least you had that, right? At least you had a business, you had an idea. Okay? So he's killing their objections by saying, what was I selling? He's repeating what they're thinking right now. This is their objection in their mind. But what were you selling? So he says, what was I selling? Actually, it doesn't matter. You see, the magic was not in the product, it was in the letter. Here, what I would have said, like, to make it even better, I would have said, what was I selling? It turns out it doesn't matter. I use this same strategy to sell over 1,000 different products, and it works every single time. Like me, if that was my objection, I would believe it much more than just, actually it doesn't matter. You see, the magic was not in the product, it was in the letter. Like, this is not, I think, this objection I think could be handled better with more detail. Do you have something to sell? If so, you can use the same crazy idea I used in my letter to create a letter of your own and sell almost everything you've got. Okay, so we're implying that the target audience has something to sell. That's good. Now, who needs this secret? You are a salesman who needs more leads. Are you a housewife about to get a divorce who needs a simple way to make a lot of money? Do you have a furniture store, restaurant, car dealership, a hot dog stand, or some other kind of establishment you'd like to see swamped with customers? Are you a manufacturer who would like to sell so many widgets you'll have to run extra shifts to meet the demand? Are you a marketing consultant who likes to keep up with new ideas and techniques so you can better serve your clients? Are you an MD, dentist, chiropractor, therapist, other kind of health professional who would like to see your waiting room bursting with new clients? Do you have a house you'd like to sell, 1,000 houses, a car, a boat? Do you have anything you'd like to sell, consulting services, product yourself? Okay, so what is he doing there? He's getting the yes. He's both getting people to say yes, as you can see here, like he's going crazy. He's going like, a boat? Do you have anything you'd like to sell? Consulting services, products, yourself? Like he says, he's implying that this works with anyone and with anything. And we know that anyone is a big emotion. Letting people know that anyone can do it. Anyone can do it is a big emotion. We know that people are lazy and insecure, and by saying that anyone can do it, it implies that also they can do it. He did it in a very unique way here by basically listing out a bunch of different professions, trying to trying to guess, or let's say trying to hit the one that trying to target the actual one that the prospect is in, right? Maybe he's a manufacturer, maybe he's a marketing consultant, okay? He's trying everything. And at the end, since he could not just, maybe he was none of these target, he says, do you have anything you'd like to sell? Consulting services, products, yourself. If you answered yes to any of the above questions, like how can you not say yes to, do you have anything you'd like to sell? He's not even selling it. He's just would like to. So he basically getting them to say yes. Because if they identify as part of all of these, if you identify inside any of these, now they are they need to keep reading. Like in their mind, they're like, all right, now I need to keep reading. If I said yes to these, or yeah, well, I need to keep reading now. Now, what's next? I identify as this. Okay. So if you answer yes about that, you should try my crazy letter idea. You can find out about it in my information package called How to Make Maximum Money in Minimum Time. This is crazy because it's like a big statement. It's what they want. It's what they want. It's their desire. It's a big, big thing, making maximum money, and it's fast. The emotion of fast in minimum time. This is what I think every human desires, and in this case even more, because these are all people who replied to this letter because they wanted to make more money. So listen, many years ago I thought I wanted to be a salesman. I got myself a job selling encyclopedias door to door, and I kept at it until I was darn good. But there was a problem. You see, I could only knock out on about 40 of those doors each evening, and therefore, no matter how hard I worked, there was a definite ceiling on my earning capacity. And besides that, selling door to door, it was a hard way to make a living, and we know that people want the easy way. So here he's saying what I was doing was hard, but people want the easy way. So I kept searching and searching until I came up with my crazy letter idea, which is the first experience I've ever had with what I call RCS, or remote control selling. I like this because what is he doing? He's saying an intriguing name that the people have never heard about, okay? The RCS, an intriguing name that people have never heard about, and they're like, RCS, what does that mean? And then he goes into remote control selling. This is like a unique name. It's what we sometimes, when you do ads, you would call a unique mechanism. Like you name something, maybe even common, but with a fancy, you wrap it up with a fancy package with a new name, and people think it's something new. And in this case, you found a good name. I have to say, remote control selling is a very intriguing name because it implies it's remote, you can control it, and you sell. Okay, so this is a very good name. RCS uses the secret of something else I developed called killer advertising to almost force people to buy whatever you're selling. And what RCS lets you do, sell almost anything without ever meeting your customers in person or even talking to them on the phone. Okay, so this is a big, probably, objection that his target audience had at the time. You know, but I don't want to be on the phone all day with 7 million people calling me, sending me money, and doing this. I want it to be more passive, minimum time, minimum effort. So that's why he's using this. But let's go back here a second, because have you noticed what he's doing here? He's identifying a reason to introducing his solution. He's identifying a problem. Okay, so he's starting by saying, hey, I thought I wanted to be a salesman. I got myself a job selling things door to door, but I realized a problem. He's getting them to realize also the problem. That the problem is going on also with their business. That they have a definite ceiling on their earning capacity. That is what these people are realizing. This is what he is getting them to realize. With your job right now, there's a definite ceiling on your earning capacity. This is the problem he's making them identify with. You have this problem. He's making them realize it right now. Or maybe they already knew it. But now he's definitely expanding on it. And then it's like, that was the hard way. That is the hard way to do it. There's an easy way that has no earning capacity. There's no definite ceiling on your earning capacity. And it's called RCS, remote control selling. And people are like, wow, what is this? And you don't even have to be on the phone. You can sell almost anything. Okay? These remote control selling secrets of killer advertising can be used by anyone, emotion of anyone. I guess, again, I already told you, but it's important that you like, you keep thinking about it all the time. People are lazy and insecure. They want to feel like they can do it. Like you need to tell them, hey, you can do it, so that they believe they can do it. So the easiest way to do that is by saying that anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. Make it seem as simple as possible, as fast as possible, as easy as possible, as open-ended, like as for anyone as possible. So that's why he keeps saying anyone, and can be used by anyone. That is why he added this small last line. Even a housewife, a student, or someone who's unemployed. And if you have a business or you want to have a business, these secrets can generate so much cash flow you will actually have a hard time getting all the money to the bank. This sounds like the dream desire of these people, right? You will actually have a hard time getting all the money to the bank. Okay? This is like their dream. They couldn't even dream these in their dreams. It's so much better than a dream. Okay? Having that much money right now, they're like, I have nobody, I don't have anything. And now he says that, so he's getting them dream, he's hitting on their desires, on their, dreams. I'm not kidding. My crazy sales letter idea, for example, brought in more than 20,000 checks per day. This is big and fast. Per day, 20,000 checks, it's huge. By the way, getting that many checks every day means you have to hire 30 full-time employees just to make your bank deposit. But anyway, my crazy sales letter idea isn't the only thing you will learn when you get my information package. No, that's just one section. Here's what you will learn in other sections. So, by the way, getting that many checks every day means you have to, okay, so he's making it big by explaining like how big this actually is. So he's saying this is big, but do you have an idea of how big it is? 30 full-time employees, like just to deposit the checks. You already told them it's big. They already got the emotion of how big 20,000 checks per day, but he's giving them another example, another perspective of it to make it seem even bigger. But anyway, my crazy idea isn't the only thing you will learn when you get my information package. No, that's just one section. Here's what you will learn on other sections. Okay, so he's explaining that basically what people will buy in this sales letter is crazy letter idea is this information package. Okay, so basically people are gonna buy this information package, which is what we would call maybe today a course or an ebook or something. Okay, so he's trying to sell this thing for what I've understood so far, and obviously the sales letter idea is one of the what is going on. The sales letter idea is one of the things. Now, the other are going to be here, because he said he's going to teach them other things inside this sales letter informational package. So, section 2, how to get a product to sell if you don't have one already. How to get a product to sell if you don't have one already, and how to get it for nothing. And I think these sections are just going to be killing the objections, really. They're just going to be killing the objections. So maybe here people are like, hey, I don't have a product to sell though. Like, I really don't want to do this if I don't have a product to sell. So his first section, number 2, is going to be how to get a product to sell if you don't have one already, or how to get it for nothing. So these are all going to be the objections in my opinion. Objections. Now, many people believe they have to pay a small fortune to tie up a product. That it's not true. There are thousands of products you can get an exclusive on without spending a dime. Okay, so this is obviously their desire, and without spending a dime, cheap is obviously always something that hits people hard. Not only that, there is one certain kind of product that I can tell perfect, that I call the perfect product that you can sell in big numbers and not ever pay anybody else 1 red cent. So, he says you don't even need to have an employee or commissions or anything else. This is something you can have big numbers on by yourself alone. This product only costs a few pennies to manufacture, and you can do it all necessary work right in your home. So these are all, benefits of it, all the desires they want. And what does this do is it creates intrigue, because it doesn't really tell them what this product is. Like it never says what the actual thing is. It just says the benefits of it, the benefits of it, the benefits of it. And that's how you intrigue people. Problem, solution, benefits, intrigue. And then once they pay, or once, in this case, they don't go to a sales page, but in the digital world, in an email, we then get them to go to the sales page, and that's where they see everything more in detail. Not only that, there is one certain kind of product, okay. So if you want to make some serious money, that is their desire, obviously. Don't worry if you don't already have a product or service. This section will tell you how to get great products, even if you're dead broke like I was. So building desire and saying, like, hitting on their desires. So if you want to make serious money, that's their desire, obviously. That's the main thing he's targeting in this sales letter. But then killing the objection of, if you don't already have a product or service, and killing the human objection of, what if I'm not good enough? What if I don't have enough money? And so there he says, even, so here it says, even if you are that broke like I was. Even if you are that broke like I was. Okay, so he's saying again that it's for anyone. Anyone can do it. Even he, when he was broke like that, he did it, so they can do it too. Section number 3, how to get as much money as you need to roll out your project and get it without borrowing. Okay, do you have a good idea? Can you prove it? If so, there's very good chance you can get all the money you need without ever having to pay it back, or even having to pay interest. So at the time, people were thinking, and I mean even today, that if you have an idea, if you want to start something, you need to take a loan out of the bank, and that means paying interest rates, having to pay it back. It's a risk. Okay, and we know that people are very risk averse. People see something less risky as more valuable than something that is actually more valuable but a little bit more risky. So the less risky your solution looks like, the more valuable it is for the reader. And in this case, that's why it says, and get it without borrowing. So their desires is getting as much money as they need for their project, and now is killing the first objection. But I don't want to take the risk of borrowing money out. So he is basically killing that objection right here. Do you have a good idea? Can you prove it? If so, there's a very good chance you can get all the money you need without ever having to pay it back, or even having to pay interest. Okay, that's a dream for them. Okay, you see, because of my connections, I have a network of people who call me at all time and see if I know about any good ideas in which they can invest money. These people who call me have millions to invest, and they trust my judgment. And as soon as you have read this section, you'll know how to prove your idea is good and how you can tap into my network of investors and get all the money you need. So this is a big thing, but why are people gonna be actually intrigued by it? Not be like, if he just cut out all this part, if he was to just not put that part, this would not be the same. This would not work as well, because people would call cap. People would call cap on that. Okay? This is a cap. People would call cap on this. Like, it's not possible. There needs to be a way to do I need to go to the bank. I need to do something. There's no way I can get this with no money, and I don't pay any interest. People have objections. Everything you tell them, they doubt it. So now, the good thing that he did here is giving a logical explanation. Like, this explanation, to me, it makes logical sense. And it is important. A lot of times we forget about this when we write copy, but people actually think, right? Is this guy capping, or does it make sense? Is this possible? Can I actually make $1 million tomorrow? That sounds unreasonable. Can I make $1 million in a year with a mentor? And all that sounds reasonable. Yes, a lot of people have done it. Like, people actually think logically about your solution. In this case, it just makes a lot of logical sense, because he's a big guy, like big guy in the marketing industry. He has a lot of friends. These people trust his judgment. If he says it's a good idea, these people are willing to invest in it without interest rate, and that's it. It makes logical sense. He needed to tell them how this was possible in a logical way, or people would have called cap. So this is why this is a very good part. Okay, now section 4. How to get movie and TV stars to help you sell your products and services. You're not going to believe your eyes when you read this section. Why? The answer is simple. You see, this part of my package reveals a very private secret method. People like something secret, something behind the scenes, something that nobody else has access to, which is also the emotion of exclusive. exclusive. It's very important, which is both, no, it's actually the emotion of only, which is both new and exclusive. Of getting in touch with any movie or TV stars. You learn where to get their private phone numbers and how to approach them about helping you sell or promote your goods or services. By the way, you'll also learn how to get them at bargain basement price, so you don't have to spend an arm and a leg. So here's what he's saying is that I can link you up with the big stars that will sell your product for you. That is something sounds like a dream for them. You know, maybe a Hollywood stars promotes my product for me, but then what do they think in their mind? Oh, this is going to be so expensive. I cannot afford it. And that's why he immediately kills the objection. By the way, you'll also learn how to get them at bargain basement price. So don't have to spend an arm and a leg. So getting the objection killed. So also here, people were like, oh, that's cap. There's no way this is possible. How does it kill the objection? Saying something logical. Okay? Like he always says a claim, but then he has to back it up to kill the objection, to get the people to keep reading. Or if people start calling cap and there's, you know, you don't answer their questions, their objections to, like, especially in a long form piece of content, piece of copy like this one, they will stop reading. They will just throw the letter in the fire. Okay. Section 5, an amazing secret that can make your newspaper advertising 700% more profitable. I have probably created more newspaper ads than anyone else you've ever met. In fact, someone once calculated that if all my ads were being run by one company instead of separated clients, that company would have been the third largest newspaper advertiser in the world. Okay, so this is something big, and what is he doing here? Building authority. He's just building authority. He's saying, hey, I know what I'm talking about. Just behind Delta Airlines, they said. Okay, just this is gonna makes it sound so big. So like, if he was to put together all these advertising stuff, blah, 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 in one company, it would be the third largest newspaper advertiser, just behind Delta Airlines. Could that be true? I honestly don't know, but I know that I've created an enormous number of profitable newspaper ads, and I've learned some secrets, powerful secrets. So in this section, you learn not only how to buy newspaper advertising at the lowest possible price, but you also learn how to make all your ads pay off with the most possible profit. Now, what did he have to do to back up this claim? The claim that he knows a secret that can be 700% more profitable in the newspaper advertising. How could he back up this secret? How could he kill the objection of this is cap? How could he do that? By showing his authority, by showing his past experience, so building authority, okay? So again, notice every time he claims something, he needs to back it up with killing the objection, or whatever objection there is, he needs to attack it, like he needs to handle it right when it starts, or people in these long form copies will stop reading. Section 6, how to get the exact, where's the 5? Oh, this was the 5, okay. How to get exact name and address of every man, woman, and child who is ever likely to become one of your customers. Every single one of your potential customers is one of there waiting for hear from you. But you can't sell to them if you can't find them. But don't worry, this valuable section will tell you exactly step by step how to get the name and address of every single potential client for good of your service. Now, why do I think he needed to add this? Like, why did he add this section? Because of one of the objections of the prospect. And what is one of those objections? If you think about it at the time, okay, I can do this sales letter thing, but who am I gonna send these letters to? How am I gonna generate leads? Like, this is a problem we still have this to this day. If I was to do it today, I would say how to get the name and Instagram, how to get the name, email, and Instagram handle of every man, woman, and child who is ever likely to become one of your customers. And if you were a copywriter, you would like that because you already know how hard lead generation is. Imagine at the time where there was no internet. So here is killing a big objection, a big pain point that people, not an objection, it's a pain point that people have, okay? It's a pain point, and he's, destroying literally this pain point by saying there's a way to do it. That's why he added this section 6 for this reason, okay? Not only that, I'm going to reveal you how you can identify Deadwood names that are on every email list so you don't waste your time and your money mailing to people who will never respond. By the way, so he's also saying not only just I'm gonna get you all these email addresses, but they're email addresses of people with money. They are gonna make you a lot of money. By the way, as a neat little bonus, this section will also reveal, if you're interested, how you can get the name and home address of almost every person in America who has the same last name you do. Why did he put that? Why did he add this? Just to build intrigue. It's something new, something unique, something a bit more personal that gets the reader a bit curious about it. Okay? It's not like they care about this, to be honest. It's just to make it seem new, to make it seem more interesting. But the big part is obviously here. Section 7. What to write on a simple postcard mailing that will make people flood into your business. Okay? What to write on a simple postcard mailing that will make people flood into your business. Advertising does not have to be expensive. No, believe it or not, you can sell more goods and services with a simple postcard mailing than other people are able to sell with a full page, full color magazine ads, or even national TV commercials. But you've got to know exactly how to do it. You know, it took me 15 years to discover this neat little trick, but now, simply by going through this section, you can learn how to use the dirty cheap little money maker in just 15 minutes. So another pain points that people have a lot of time is to advertise their product. They have to spend a lot of money. Advertising costs a lot of money, TV commercials cost a lot of money. So he's basically killing this pain point that they have, fixing this pain point that they have, by telling them there's a way you can do advertising with just postcards in just 15 minutes. This just means it's quick. Dirty cheap little money maker. Okay, like he's just telling me it's cheap, it's fast, it's easy, and he builds authority. Like, why would I believe it? Why would I trust you? He needs to keep reminding them. It took me 15 years to discover it. Like, he puts back the authority into it. Like, this is just such a complex and well done sales letter. Like, it's crazy. It's actually very impressive. I think it might be the best sales letter I've ever read. Literally. Section 8. Can it and close it. Can it and clone it. What is he doing here? Building some intrigue. Sometimes a lot of people, the mistake they do is they give names to their sections in their body with boring ass names. Notice how none of these names were boring. None of these names were like, oh, I've heard this before. This is something I've already heard before. None of that is like that. So in this case, he probably wanted to say something a bit common, but he can't make it seem common, because we know that when people hear something that is similar to something they've already heard before, they categorize that as similar in their right side of the brain. And when it's something new, something they've never heard before, they put it in the new part of their brain and they keep on reading. As soon as they see something similar, they stop reading. So it's important that he keeps reading. He keeps it new. Now in this case, I haven't read this yet, but I think he's gonna say something pretty common, and he had to find a fancy name for it. Otherwise, people would not read it. So that's why I call it Can It and Close It. Can It and Clone It. You may find this to be the most interesting information in this entire package. That's because this section will teach you how to create a great advertisement or sales letter, even if you're a lousy writer. Okay? Now, what is he doing here? Killing, calling whatever you want, another pain point. It's crazy. It's crazy. Because what's the problem of a lot of people now that we think about it? And a lot of people in copywriting, okay? What is the problem with a lot of copywriters? Oh, but what if I'm not an English speaker? What if I don't know how to write? What if I don't know how to do? Okay? What if I don't know how to do that? And he's like, I have a method. You can create a great advertisement or sales letter, even if you're a lousy writer. So he's comforting them. Okay? He's telling them, hey, don't worry about it. Like, even if you are a terrible writer, I can get you there. You can do this. And this is something that I have to say to also my copywriters a lot of times. So these fixing, killing a pain point that these leads, these prospects might have. Let's face it, not everyone is good at putting their ideas down on paper. However, not at last, when you learn my secret method, you'll know how to make all your ads and letters look like they were written by a pro. Here you could have said, like, I would have liked it if he said they're written by a famous name. I think it would have built some more intrigue. And learn my secret method. Notice how many times he talks about something secret, something exclusive. And that is all for the emotion of only, which is something new and exclusive. And people like exclusive stuff. Believe me, these will work for you even if you can hardly write your name. as long as you can talk, I can show you how to create an absolutely fantastic sales pitch in print. What is he doing here? Like, this is a very way of putting it down, but he's just saying that anybody can do it. Again, he's just putting pressure on the point that anyone can do it. Even the person who can hardly write your name can do it. And it's most likely that the people who are reading this can write a little bit. Maybe not perfectly, but they can write a little bit. So a lot of times what I think I said to give the same emotion in one of my copy, I said if you can spell the word copywriting, you can become a copywriter. If you can spell the word copywriting, you can become a 10K a month copywriter. I think I said something like that in a copy, and it worked very well. It's the same exact thing. If you you just give something so easy to do, and you say, if you can do that, you are going to be able to do copywriter. And this is what he's saying. Anybody can do it, and it's easy to do. These are the emotions. You always need to keep in mind the emotions that he's trying to get to the reader. Section 9. What is going on? How to mail up to 100,000 letters per week at no cost whatsoever. Not even postage. Other pain point that people have. Oh, but sending out that many mail posts, sending out that many letters a week is going to be so expensive. I'm going to pay thousands of dollars a week just in postage fees. Okay? And that's why it's killing the pain point. Or that objection or whatever. How would you like to mail 100,000 sales letters every week and have other people gladly pay every penny of your costs? I'm talking about postage, printing, envelopes, and everything. Actually, it's rather easy when you know how. Believe me, this idea alone is worth more than 100 times the cost of my material. He's just building some intrigue. He's not going too deep into this one because I think he already built enough authority, but if you wanted to build even more authority, you could go I've sent over 1,500,000 letters last week alone, and I did not pay a single penny. And the same did my student, and the same did my cousin. He's not rich or anything, but he sent out 50,000 sales letters last week, and not only didn't pay, but he actually made profit off of sending them. This is how I would have personally expanded this, but it already looks very good, I have to say. Section 10. How to use 976 numbers to get people to pay to hear your sales pitch. Wait. How to use 976 numbers to get people to pay to hear your sales pitch. You've heard about those 976 numbers, haven't you? They're the ones you call to listen to a recorded message, and then you get $2 or so charged to your phone bill. Never heard of this before. It must have been something of the 1990, because I never heard of it. Most of those 976 numbers are used by slim bags who offer sexually explicit messages. However, there is another way, a respectable way, to use 976 numbers to provide a valuable public service and at the same time get people to pay to hear the message from you that makes them want to buy the good service. So apparently there was these things, right, where phone numbers that ended with 976 were scammers and they got you $2. And what he's saying here, we can use the same technique in a good way. So all he's doing now is something new, something intriguing, something nobody else is doing, and that builds just intriguing people. Don't miss this section. It's a really eye-opener. So that's all it is, right? It's something unique, new, and that's pretty much it. It's not fundamental. Section 11. How to make your ad in the yellow pages pull 400% more business than it does now at no extra charge. Okay, so here, this is not any of their pain point. This here is just adding, benefits to it. It's not, there's no pain point. Like the avatar here did not have the pain point. How do I make my business in the yellow pages more effective? They did not have this pain point, but he's saying, hey, there's this benefit that my information package will give you. How to make your ad in the yellow pages pull 400% more businesses. And what is the first thing people think? Oh, I'm gonna have to pay a lot of money to be sponsored in the yellow pages. And that's why he kills it immediately by saying at no extra charge. Simple. Like bro knows what he's doing. You won't learn this surefire technique from any ad agency in town. It's simple. It's easy. Just emotions here are crazy. Like he explicitly says the emotions he's giving. It's simple. It's easy, and this little secret will work for you no matter what you're selling. Simple, easy, exclusive, everyone. This line is a masterpiece, I have to say. Doesn't get much better than that, guys. It'll only take you about 10 minutes, so it's also fast, to make the necessary changes, and profits will immediately increase dramatically all year long. So it's safe, predictable, recurring all year long, and it's big. And your profits will immediately increase. Like this line, guys, you should write it down somewhere. You should write this line, this exact section. It's probably the most complete section I've ever seen. It's wild. It really is wild. You should really, I'm gonna comment on this because I mean, I'm gonna be able to keep opening this. The most complete paragraph I've ever read, so that I can go back to it and know what it is. But it's crazy, right? All the emotions, every single emotions, plus killing the objection. It's crazy. This is a crazy line. You should literally write it down somewhere, put it across the wall, put it on the wall, do something, but it's crazy. Section 12, how to use cheap little classifieds to make more money per day than you could ever hope to spend. Classified ads are dirty, cheap. I don't know what classified ads here are. I don't know what they refer to, but don't overlook them because they can make you rich and fast. But don't overlook them because they can make you rich, okay? This is their desire, big, and obviously emotional fast. It's just crazy. And I know 3 people, and each of them, one in California, one in Louisiana, and one in Ohio, makes more than $10,000 a day from these tiny little powerhouse ads. Okay? What is this doing here? Again, it's saying like, maybe people think, oh well, but where I live, you know, my sending sales letters is not good here in Ohio. The distribution service, the distribution system is not good, blah, blah, blah. So he's saying he knows one in California, which was probably the best place in the USA at the time. One in Louisiana, which was not the best place in the US at the time. And in Ohio, definitely not. So he's saying from the best state of the US to the worst state of US, this works. So this works also where you live. Makes more than $10,000 a day from these tiny little powerhouse ads. Sometimes the ads cost less than 50 cents, and yet you can get them to generate huge wads of money. But you've got to know exactly how to do it. But don't worry, you'll learn the real secret on how to do it when you read this section. Okay? So here, you know, killing a couple more pain points and saying that it's cheap. Okay? Big results, cheap. You know, that's everything people want. Section 13, how to use RCS to find your dream lover. Interesting, right? Very intriguing, very catchy heading. Each one of these sections has a very catchy heading. How to use RCS to find your dream lover. This section is not about money, and it will not be of interest to everyone. If you're happily married, you may want to skip this part of the package. On the other hand, if you're looking for someone of the opposite sex who is just trying for you, reading this information will be like a dream come true. You see, I have developed a dignified way to meet members of the opposite sex that were, why does he say of the opposite sex? Because obviously there's there's both men and women who are hearing this, so he needs to relate to both of them. If he said if you have a husband, you may want to skip this part of the package. No, he needs to be relatable to both parties, both men and women. So you see, I have it works so well. My secret technique was discussed on one of the biggest and best radio show in Los Angeles 6 different times. This is just an intriguing thing, just a little extra bonus that people are gonna get inside the thing. Like, if you're someone who's reading this, who wants all of this stuff, and he also wants to find a lover, I guarantee you, you will buy this. And why is he doing this? Because he's tackling one of the innate desires that humans have. Okay, sex drive. He's tackling that desire. That is a desire that every single person on earth has, the sex drive, you know, having women or maybe a man. That is something that every single person has. So here, it's actually a very big desire. Might be one of the biggest one here. Someone who wants all this stuff, and also doesn't have a woman, he might be actually interested in buying this, even just for this, because it's just such a powerful motivator and driver in the humans. So I see why he's adding this, and it's actually very interesting. I might have to add a section like this to my program. That's all I gotta say. In fact, as soon as I used this idea, I received letters and pictures from women all over California and from as far away as London, England, and the Virgin Islands. He's just making it big. He's just making it big. He just, from London, England, like, he's sending these emails out to sales letters out in the US. So at the time, receiving letters from lovers from London, England, and Virgin Islands was crazy. So he's making it big, new, intriguing, curious, everything like that. Like I said, if you're completely happy with someone already, you can skip this information. But if you're not happy in this area, this might be a great interest to you, of great interest to you. Section 14. How to get yourself or your product featured on cable TV at no cost whatsoever. Now, this is obviously an extra that people will like. People are like, oh, can I get my product on TV? At the time, TV was a big thing, right? At the time, they were like, oh, TV, that's crazy. Right? It was just, I don't know when it started, but 1990, it was pretty new. So only big fish could advertise, have the money to advertise on cable TV. And so as soon as he says this, it's like, this is something very interesting. I could put myself on cable TV, everybody would see me, they would see how good I am, my product on TV, me, oh, desire. That is another desire of the human mind, the ego. He's tackling the ego also. Also the fact that cable TV obviously is a very profitable advertising method at the time. I don't know about now. And people, what do they think? Oh yeah, I want it. This would be great for my ego. This would be great for everything, for my business. But it costs a lot. And it just takes care of that objection immediately at no cost whatsoever. In the last few years, I have been responsible for at least 9 different cable TV show and have heard some amazing secrets about this medium. People are like, now when they hear at no cost whatsoever, they immediately think that's not possible. You can't advertise in TV at no cost. And that's why he needs to remind them who he is. I am Gary Halbert. In the past few years, I've been responsible for 9 different cable TV shows. You think I don't know you can do it for free? Okay, so building authority. Listen, if you are truly an expert in your line at work or if you have a first-class product or service, there is a very real chance you can get millions of dollars worth of cable TV time at virtually no cost to you whatsoever. This section will explain everything. Please go through it the same day you get my package. Building some FOMO, okay? Building some, more than FOMO, some pressure. Giving them some pressure, some urgency. That is good. That's something that was missing here. Section 15, the dark side of success. Very interesting heading, again. When you examine, notice how complex this is. Like, every single section is a new piece of copy. Literally, every single section is a new piece of copy. It's crazy. It's very crazy. Section 15, the dark side of success. When you examine my package, you truly are going to learn the real secret of making a lot of money and making it fast. Again, it's just reminding them of all the emotions. However, making a lot of money can be a mixed blessing if you aren't careful. In fact, if you don't know what to watch out for, you could end up having trouble with the government, with lawyers and jealous people who want to sue you and so on. So he's tackling here a pain point that it's a problem that these people don't have, but they think they will have in the future. So he's already saying, hey, if I make you a lot of money, I also have you covered on something else. And that is actually something very common, more common than you might think. You have no idea of how many people I met that have not made $1 online, have an idea on how to make money online, and they come to me or whatever, just talking, saying, yeah, and also I was trying to figure out how to do with taxes. And I'm like, what taxes? How much money have you made? Oh, 0, but I have this idea. So people are actually, what can I call it? Paranoid. People are actually paranoid about this thing, about what's gonna happen once they make it. So I think this is a very interesting point that he added, the dark side of success, because it's actually something true. To this day, people, before making a single $1 online, care about taxes. And that is the same exact thing that is happening right here. Before making millions of dollars, people care about both taxes, government, and all that kind of stuff. I know I've already had all the problems, and they were sometimes very unpleasant. Now they think, how can you be able to tell me that? Like, who are you? In their mind, they always think, who are you to tell me what to do once I'm successful? And he says, I know, I've already had all the problems, and they were sometimes very unpleasant. He's just telling them, I've already been there, building some more authority. People forget who you are while reading such a long piece of copy. They need to constantly be reminded of their dreams, their desires, killing their objections constantly, and keep telling them who you are while they're listening to you. Why is your letter worth reading? Because you are Gary Halbert. However, what you read is a vital section. You learn my step-by-step method for avoiding this kind of nonsense. Please don't skip this section. It's not enough to learn how to make money. You've also got to learn how to keep it. Very interesting, as I said, for paranoid people. How to get the most valuable free gift in all the world. Intriguing heading, perfect. This section contains a surprise offer of a free gift I'd like to send you, and in my opinion, it's probably the most valuable gift anyone will ever send you. Just building curiosity. I'm just curious now. Now that you told me, it's probably the most valuable gift anyone will ever send me. What is it? By the way, I was once paid $2,500 for one of these. Okay, building intrigue, building curiosity. What is this gift? Anyway, after you studied my material, you're going to want this item, and I think you're going to be overjoyed that I'm willing to send it to you, send it free. Well, that's it. You've just read a complete description of the cash generating secrets you will learn. Okay, so this is the end of all what's inside this informational package. Okay, this is the end of all the sections. So now it's gonna go through, I think, I haven't read it ever before, guys, I'm just saying. Now I think it's gonna go to the call to action. So, well, that's it. You've read a complete description of the cash generating secret you will learn when you receive my material. This info has been used to generate tens of millions of dollars by several hundreds people and have consulted with me in person or else paid $6,250 to attend one of my seminars. Okay, so he's making it big. Again, all the same, he's just repeating the same emotions over and over again. And it's important to do, but he's doing it very well. Saying, tens of millions of dollars, several hundred people. So he has a track record. This thing works. It didn't just work for him, but it worked for a lot of other people. So it can work for them too. This is what he's saying. It's something that I also often do when I write ad scripts. However, you can now receive all this incredible information for only $295. So he's saying other people paid $6,250 to attend, and you can get all of this for $295. To be honest, guys, he would have sold me. Like, I would have been sold with this copy. Tell me you, would you be sold? Would you have paid $295 for this after reading all of this? Honestly, I think I would have. If I was there back then, I would have, 100%. Like now, if I received an email like this now, and it was damn good targeted on why copywriting is so important, I think I would have done it. I think I would have read that. I would have actually paid. So such a good sales letter is crazy. Is that a lot of money? Well, if you think of my material as nothing more than paper and ink and plastic, my package contains 2 sets of cassette tapes. There are 6 tapes in one binder and 12 in the other ones, and 6 written reports that are attractively printed inbound. And I'll tell you this, unless you're brain dead or lazy beyond belief, this info would make your cash flow explode. So he's now down to the final persuasion, okay? So he's telling them again that anybody can do it. Now, he's killing the objection. Obviously, at the time, $295 is probably like $1,500 now. Yeah, $1,500 now. Is that a lot of money? Well, it is if you think of material as nothing more than paper, ink, and plastic. It's like me saying, is that a lot of money for my program? Well, it's as if you think of my program as pixels on a screen for 5 hours of pixels on a screen. But if you think about it, if you think at it as 12 hours of highly valuable content with the information of thousands of dollars, blah, 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 then it's worth the money. Like, is basically killing the objection of, damn, that's expensive. And now he also reassures them, unless you're brain dead or lazy beyond belief, this info will make your cash flow explode. Okay, this is the desire. This is something they're not, obviously, or they don't think they are, or lazy beyond belief. They're like, okay, I can actually put in the work. I'll tell you a curious story. I had a lot of trouble getting the Wall Street Journal to accept my ad. They took the position that the claims I was making, like to how to mail up to 100,000 sales letters per week at no cost whatsoever, not even postage, just couldn't be true. So what I did is, I sent the Wall Street Journal the same package I'm offering to you. And it was only after they realized, with considerable astonishment, that I was saying was true, did they run my ad. That's crazy. This is a very interesting story. I would have not, I don't know if I would have thought about putting another story at the end to make this sound even more real, but he managed to do it. Like, it makes logical sense. It just makes it seem so big and like builds so much intrigue. To say, I'll tell you a curious story. I had a lot of trouble getting the Wall Street Journal to accept my ad. They took the position that the claims I was making, like how to mail up to 100,000 sales letters a week at no cost whatsoever, was kept. But in order to make my ad in the ad, and these people are all people who watched the ad, remember, who already replied to the ad. In order to do it, I had to show them my method, and only after then they let me run it. So this is another proof that what I'm teaching you here is approved by the Wall Street Journal. This is what he's saying here. It's crazy. I would have never come up with anything like that. Listen, my friend, you have a watershed decision in front of you right now. You can either ignore this letter and continue your current course, or you can order my material and examine it for a full year on 100% no risk basis. So it's now adding a guarantee. This is crazy. This is pretty crazy, I have to say. Let me see if I can do something like this. Yeah. Examine it on a full year on 100% no risk basis. So if it doesn't work for a year, guaranteed all your money back. That's right. My material comes with an entire year money back guarantee, and it is easy to order. All you have to do is write your name and address and the word maximum money info package on a piece of paper and send it with your payment of $295 plus $7.75 for first class postage, and handing total $302 to, okay, at the time, you can't just click on the link and pay. You have to tell them how to take action. Note, are you in a hurry? If so, for even faster service, you can also order by phone. Just call my office and you can use my Visa, MasterCard, or American Express. Our phone lines are open. Anyway, no matter how you order, I'll send you all material promptly by return mail as soon as I hear from you. Also, checks and money orders should be made payable to me, Gary C. Halbert, and Florida Essential must be 7% taxes for a total payment of $323. Okay? So, what was I about to say? Yeah, it's just telling them how to ship the things. And notice how at the time it was so much harder for a person to trust. Like, they have to put the money in an envelope, send it via postage to a person that, all right, in this case Gary Halbert, but they might not know him. They don't know him. They don't know this person. Send him the money with the faith and hoping that he's gonna send them their informational package. It's crazy. It's crazy. And notice, I wanted to say another thing, how all the time he talked about the benefits of this thing, what people get out of it, and only down here he explains what it is. Okay? Okay, in only here it explains what physically this thing is. This thing contains 2 sets of cassette tapes, 6 tapes on one binder and 12 on the other one, 6 written reports that are attractively printed. These are the features of this product. What are you buying from this person? You're buying 2 sets of cassette tapes, 6 tapes in one and 12 in the other one, and 6 written reports that are attractively printed inbound. This is what you're getting for $295 if you explain the features. Now, whenever you explain the benefits, you come up with something like this. Right? So it's pretty crazy. Let's see the PS. Last thing. PS. My material is everything I say, and it is that I'm real, personal, alive, and well living right here in Marathon in the heart of Florida Keys. I spent a lot of time fishing and driving. I own the original Sea Hunt dive boat from the TV series starring Lauren Burns, but unfortunately, most of the time, you can still reach me personally by calling my office. Oh well, nobody's life is perfect. PPS. The enclosure, this is just personal, making him seem like a real person. PPS, the enclosed pink sheet. Damn, building some intrigue here. The enclosed pink sheet has a few of the comments others have made about my material. If some of the names sound familiar to you, that's because many of them men are most visible and more successful people in their respectable fields. So, you know, he did not add any reviews, any testimonial inside this thing. So what I think this PPS implies is that people, like, he added a pink paper to this letter, and they are testimonials of big people in America that have made money with this method. So that's probably the best testimonial I've ever seen. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty much it. I guess that's it for this sales letter. It's probably the best piece of copy I've ever read. I'm not trying to just say it just because it's him, to be honest, guys. But if you, like, we analyze it. It's just the thought behind it, how much thinking there's behind it, how much psychology there's behind it. And I don't know if it's the best copy I've ever seen. Probably yes, but by far the most well thought, psychologically speaking, piece of copy I've ever read. That's for sure. And also, if you think about the fact that he had a $1 bill on top of it, just, the intrigue is so much. The hook is so good with the dollar bill. Okay? And this is a retargeting campaign. So it's like saying people who signed up to my ad now have the email, and now I send them an email. This is the same thing. This is a retargeting campaign, let's say. It's like people what is the name? Opt in for my free lead magnet, and now I need to convert them with an email, and I send this email out. Okay, it's pretty crazy. But you see, you notice also at the time, like, there was no sales page. This is the sales page. That's why it's a sales letter. It's an email plus sales page. And it's actually very interesting. It's actually very, very, very interesting. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. I mean, I always learn something when I do this. I try to review or go over some good pieces of copy every single day. And that's what I also suggest you to do. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, share, subscribe, comment, whatever you can do. It really, really helps. And stay tuned, because I'm going to come back with a lot more videos, more value. If you are into copywriting or all that kind of stuff, you can find my Discord server to improve your copy for free down here. You can watch my past videos to learn more about copywriting, how to find clients, and how to write better. Or you can join my program, and I'm going to guide you there myself. So if that's something you're interested in, check all of that out down here in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.